This episode was made possible thanks to generous supporters on Patreon. Hello everyone, my name's Alexandra Zerner, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm progressive rock guitar player, guitar teacher, composer, session musician, and kind of YouTuber. And this is my new YouTube series dedicated to reaction and analysis. And today I want to listen to the new song of the band Blind Guardian, which is actually, some of you probably don't know that, but I was like a huge fan of this band. I still am, and in the last months I sort of rediscovered them. And since they are releasing a brand new album this September, and they already put some songs out there, and I haven't listened to them yet, so today it will be an actual first time listening experience, which is interesting for me as well. I believe it will be interesting for you. Before we start, I would like to invite you to check out my Patreon page, because this is how you can support everything that I do here on this channel. And there you can get all kinds of interesting things like tabs, audio downloads, exclusive materials, and also you can request a song for me to analyze. And the membership starts as low as $3 per month. Now, without further ado, let's tackle the song. So, the song that we address today is called The Blood of the Elves, which is a very typical topic for Blind Guardian. You know, they tend to do all this fairy tale stuff and a lot of Tolkien, and since I'm also a huge fan of Tolkien, and this already feels exciting even before I haven't listened to any of it. I remember that they were using half-step down tuning in the past. I have no idea if this is the case now. Anyway, I still don't have a guitar in such tuning, so I will just try to find my way on a standard tuning, and I will transpose. And yeah, if I manage to figure out if they're using half-step down tuning, of course I will let you know. And I will, like the videos before, I will just transpose in real time, and I will just tell you the things that they play in their tuning. So here we've got quite a widescreen video, and Hansi Kirsch is like already ready for battle. I guess this would be sort of the topic of the video, so let's see. Okay, they're playing open strings here, as far as I can see, yeah. And what we hear is G sharp, so indeed they are still in half-step down tuning. It starts as a typical Blind Guardian song, fast riff, and something that sounds like Phrygian modes. Yeah, very nice, very Blind Guardian-ish riff. Yeah, so indeed this is again very typical metal riff based on Phrygian mode. So it's just, of course they use an open string, so it's easier to play. It's actually in their tuning, they play it like, or the rhythmic was a little bit different, but essentially this is what happens there. And there is this series of power chords, some out of key, interesting dissonant target points. something like that. Let's see. Okay, it's almost like Locrian. Okay, so if we're in A, and then this will be D, E flat, C, E flat again, D, and going back to A. So it's like a Locrian mode actually. But the second repetition, I think they actually resolve to A major, which makes it even more interesting. It's like a build-up of the riff. So here we already resolved to a major, and this brings more Oriental flavor, so to speak, because here, actually they never played C in the beginning, so it could be something like Locrian dominant, or I don't know if such a name exists, but you could name it like that.
It's easy to dispose in this darkest hour. We're alone from behind.
Yeah, it's almost the same riff, and Hans is full of power. Yeah, okay, they're playing here this C sharp, which actually confirms my idea that the mode is something very strange. I've never encountered this before. Yeah, it's really like Locrian mode, but with major third here. So instead of C, it will be C sharp, so it makes it like a dominant type of mode. And these are also very typical harmonizations of the main riff. They happen a lot in their music. It's like playing an octave soar on perfect fifths on top of that. So, or the other guitarist playing something like, and there the two guitars together would sound like, or so here I suspect we are about to enter a new part. So let's see. Usually the Blind Guardian songs, they have so many sections in there that I remember there was a friend of mine back in my teens, and she said this is so complex music they could do an entire album just from the themes of one song. So yeah, it will be a complex journey, but let's see.
The storm.
We stay in the same key, not so expected actually. I was waiting for something to move somewhere. Anyway, here we stay more or less in the same mode, the same type of riff. These are accents, just following the same notes.
She is your destiny. No matter height, when chaos breaks loose, chaos breaking loose. Just take her away, stay silent. Just take her away.
Okay, this was the part that I was waiting for. Nice slow. we go down to E.
Just take her away, stay silent. Just take her away, no matter. The poet lied. The poet lied to save her life.
Okay, again very typical. Yeah, again gravitating around this Phrygian or Locrian type of feel. Of course, it's a safe bet when you write this type of riff. So yeah. Okay, and now here's another trademark of Blind Guardian. Of course, we go back to the tonic, and there are these huge choirs and this epic chord progression. And I guess here we're actually ending up on the same tonal center like A, but this time it will be like A minor, because to have this epic type of feeling you would need a minor key and one of these symphonic metal type of progressions.
Poet lied. The poet lied to save her life. Follow the sun. Share my sorrows, clear your mind. Despite the writing on the wall.
Okay, that's very interesting. There is actually some Phrygian flavor. So we've got A minor, F, D, some kind of D. It's not really clear whether it's minor or major. Let's see. Aha, okay, see, this is what happens. So A minor, F major, D minor, B flat, and G. So we actually have the Phrygian mode here, and this B flat suggests it. So this is what happens here, and I like this aggression with the drums in the back.
Despite the writing on the wall, hope grows from now on. For our brothers, their queen, follow the sun. Love the elves, predestined child.
And one of these very typical riff. Or something like that. It's something that I like very much about these intermediate riffs, and essentially these additional riffs that the guitars are playing, and these are again very typical approach of Andrea Olbrich, and he tends to do a lot of these octave riffs and to use this wah pedal. It's like his trademark, and he actually uses it to accent the notes when the pedal is pressed down, so it's on the U, and it has a very, very typical sound, and usually he uses it on this type of riffs.
Yes, predestined child.
Okay, so this riff is also based on the Locrian mode, or something like that. Very nice dissonant Locrian riff. I like how this mode is used very skillfully here. Let's see what happens further.
There's danger when everything
we have another verse. It follows the same riff as in the beginning, again with the harmonizations with the second guitar. Okay, this is a new part. It's again going down to E like before, but this time it's something different. Something like that. Again, Phrygian vibe. No, actually. Yeah, so it's D, E, and yeah, essentially this repeats several times.
All praise to her in glory, gracious Linus
And these are of course they played on the 12th fret, just regular harmonics, and it's like this section to give you a little bit of air before we rush into something else. And the other guitar is playing something, probably something like this. Yeah. So it goes from E, G, F sharp, F, and back to E, and the other guitar is just, of course, flageolet, and then an octave higher, which would be like here on the 5th fret in their tuning. So yeah, they kind of developed this riff. So it's like a reprise of the main riff in the beginning, but this time it's like again, this Phrygian or Locrian, depends. Yeah, this section, it was the E minor section from before, now it appears here. It can't grow wide, it can't grow wide, we need it, follow the sun. And now this again, the riff type of solos, again harmonized with octaves or fifths in this case. I think there is again the typical reverse wah pedal there. Something. I think it's again based on a Phrygian or Locrian because it kind of complements the main riff. So it's rather like Phrygian dominant. Okay. yeah, it's going down. This time it's harmonized on fifths, I think. Of course, it's useless to go and to learn everything here. It will become very long and probably boring video, but at least I want to get into some of these insights, how these riffs are done. They're super typical, and so just some hints here and there will be useful, I guess. And here is this reverse wapero, very, very typical. Again, another very typical, very epic theme. Now we have even more guitars. I think it's 3 or 4, and they are on octaves, and they are also thirds. So probably 4 guitars, like one part, one melody line on octaves, and another one which is a third above, and again itself harmonized on octaves. I think this is what happens here. At least this is his typical approach. So this actually is the chord progression from this intermediate part, if you remember, the one with the flageolets, and it was E, G, F sharp, F, and then back to E, and this time it's the same thing but played from A. And on top of it it's... and yeah, whatever happens. So yeah, this is a very, very interesting idea. Yeah, I like it. It's a classical approach. This here we have entirely new parts. No, there's something strange happening here. It's some chromatic bass line going down, and it's harmonized. So it's like a C major with G in the bass or something like that. No, it's rather G and then D major with F sharp in the bass. Probably there F and E probably. This is like a logical approach. No, actually they go back to A. This is a very, very nice chord progression. Very cool. I like it. Again, the main riff, so it's like a verse section.
Your secret price for developing Christ tribulations caused by your ignorance. The world it bleeds, ignore its Christ, but still there is a path to dream from the sun. Share a soul, feel your mind. Despite the writing on the wall, all roads from now on for a
Ah, now they changed the chord progression. It's like almost the same, but with some small differences. And it's... So now this guitar riff on top, it makes the A major, because it plays A and C sharp, and then over F he plays A and D, and this makes it almost like a D major with F in the bass. And then over D he plays E and C, which is like D minor 7, and then at the end they play E instead of this B flat and G that they normally play on the chorus. And this is the difference. Yeah, and on the over the E he plays E and B, so it makes it like E sus4 chord, so it's like... Even more epic. Nice, very powerful track. And it's very loaded with energy, like it's a Blind Guardian in the end. You expect to have such kind of power. Yeah, I will definitely listen to this track a lot, and I'm looking forward to the album. I remember they said it's coming out on... actually here it's written somewhere in September, but I forgot the actual date. Yeah, somewhere in September. Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that, and yeah. So that's everything for this episode. I hope you find it interesting and amusing. Please give it a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. What about this song do you like the most, and also which is your favorite Blind Guardian album? Also, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell notification button to get informed every time when I upload new video. And also don't forget to check out my Patreon page, because this is how you support everything that I do on this channel. Take care and prog on!